Githyanki. Githyanki are sort of a race of astral ex-Illithid slaves that hunt the astral sea using their silver swords, and they call their, in the Githyanki language, a fighter magic user is a Gish.
Yeah.
And it, somewhere along the line, this obscure piece of D&D lore came to describe every single arcane warrior that has ever existed, and so now it is just the word you use to describe a fighter mage. But it's specifically, it's not a divine caster. If you're going to be a Gish purist, which if you're going to be any kind of Gish, you might as well be a Gish purist.
Well, we don't do anything by half measures. Okay, we don't do things by half measures here.
Then it is a fighter wizard or a fighter arcane magic user. Now, obviously, there are a million and one ways you can expand on this concept, and I find in 5th edition in particular, given the fact that so many classes incorporate magic, not just spells, but magical abilities, into their class features in a way that sort of like, you know, 4th edition had a reputation for sort of sameness. Everything became push 1 plus damage. You know, those kinds of powers, even though the flavor text on them was different. Right. I find that 5th edition has a similar sort of like every class has a...
It looks like kind of a digital painting or someone's background in a YouTube video.
I'm gonna upload in my YouTube.
It doesn't have an arcane component. But if I wanted to make my own, you know, built from the ground up, not a part of a subclass Gish, you know, an arcane warrior, I would probably use Paladin as the base and go from there. Different spell selection, but using sort of the combination of fighting if I was going to build my own.
Right, but just basically because of the ability of spending slots to get more damage.
To get more damage, the type of the spells that they're casting, smites. So that's one way to think of Gish. But, you know, looking at it from the classes as they exist in 5th edition, we have a spectrum that we're on. On one end, we have the casters, which would be Blade Singer Wizard and Blade Lock Warlock. They're Pact of the Blade Warlock. Those are the ones that are otherwise pure caster classes. Or maybe even Valor Bard as well. Although Valor Bard with its expanded, sort of like if you know, Blade Singer and Pact of the Blade Warlock are over here, and Eldritch Knight's over here, Valor Bard's like right here. Right. So you have those that are on the one end where they're mostly pure casters that mix a little bit of fighting so that they can stay competitive in melee combat. And on the other end, we have the Eldritch Knight, which has limited spell casting potential, limited.
Look at the Christmas lights. Because people with money go nuts with Christmas lights.
Yeah, I was reading the news how much some of the people is spend for the light.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this cars.
To incorporate something like the Psychic Warrior, then the Immortal becomes a type of Gish, combining magical psionic abilities, which in 5th edition, psionic is magic, and vice versa. You know, Illithids manipulate psionic energy using magic, for instance.
Yeah.
And it's the same sort of way with the Immortal. They have those powers.
Well, any chance to talk about Rilvian again is I'm going to take it.
If you take a step back and you look at the classes as pure